Hey guys, I thought I'd give you a hangar tour of what I have currently got. It's always interesting to see what other people have got in their hangars. This is the Avenger. It's a fighter stroke bounty hunter type ship. This one you get in the back, so let's get in the back. It currently has room here for, I believe these are like prisoner holding cells, where you can place your captured bounty. This is a kind of sleeping stroke, I guess, cargo area. But there I am, kind of sleeping, glitching through the wall there, but you get the idea. And this will be the cockpit. And there's the view from outside. It's a nice ship, always reminds me of a killer whale. It's a good multi-purpose ship, 3 guns, 1 nose, 1 on each wing. Big Gatling gun on the front there. So close up of the cockpit. You do have to duck to get out of this ship. And there we go. By the way, this is the Revel and York hangar, which I used as its bright white. It's the brightest hangar I can find, therefore it's best to see the detail on the ships with. This is the Super Hornet. I got this in the anniversary sale. So this comes with, I think 2 years insurance. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm sort of 99.9% sure on that one. It's a nice ship. It's a big sort of gunboat. It's quite wallowy and slow as far as fighters go, but it is very well armed. As you can see, it's got a canard turret, which you can actually take off and put onto other Hornets if you happen to have other Hornets. At the moment I've got the Mantis guns on the wings. These really do shred things. As you can see, they are enormous Gatling guns. And then you've got another fully rotatable turret on the top. This can actually take 2 people. Let's hop in. Obviously with 1 person you automatically jump into the pilot seat, but in free flight you can actually get 2 people into it. One, when this is fully implemented, 1 will eventually be the gunner, 1 will be the pilot, is the idea. But let's have a look at the outside of the ship. I mean, this is with the wings folded up in landing mode, as it were. So those wings that are with the Gatling guns do actually fold forward. The ship's a lot wider than this. This is just in kind of storage mode. One of my first ships, this, and I really like it. It still tears things up in Vandal Swarm and other combat modes. This next ship is the Gladius. Again, it's a light fighter. It's very similar weapon config to the Avenger, except it seems I don't actually have a gun fitted on the front at the moment, but there are there's a gun on each wing and a gun on the nose, or there should be if I hadn't taken it off before. But just imagine the gun you saw on the Avenger on the front of this. It's one of my favourite looking ships. It looks amazing. I think it's got that military sort of futuristic space jet fighter look about it, just perfect. And the detail when you get in close on these things is just amazing. However, let us jump into this one, and you can see the cockpit view and how you get in. This is one of the coolest cockpit entry animations too, I think. And there we are in the Gladius. As you can see, the cockpit has huge visibility. Obviously there's a HUD overlaid on this in-game, but I really like it. It flies very well. It's recently had a bit of a nerf, in fact, because it was overly manoeuvrable, but now I think they've probably taken it a bit too far, but it will probably be put back to roughly where it should be. Let's hop out of this one. Now in the middle here is by far the biggest ship I own. This is the Retaliator. It's a bomber ship. It's the first ship actually that they've released with the modules. However, it will only display with the torpedo modules at the moment, which is the standard fit for the previous incarnation of this. I think this just looks amazing. It has an almost alien look about it, but it's still, it kind of reminds me of the SR-71 Blackbird. It also reminds me of a stealth bomber. I think the black ships look really nice. Yeah, so there's the outside views. You've got a turret at the bottom here, which the guy actually loads into upside down, as you can see there. There are 5 turrets like this on this ship, 2 on the bottom, 3 on the top. And obviously you gain access to them from inside the ship. So let's hop in and have a little look around. Okay, so we are inside. This one in the torpedo bays. There's no torpedoes in this one. I'll show you some in a minute. The other one has in fact got torpedoes in it. There is another level to this ship, and the torpedo bays, you can actually walk into them, but not at this precise moment, because there is a problem with the clipping, which means you just fall straight through the floor, which I am pretty much sure is based on the fact that they're going to they're halfway through implementing the modular system, which is why the clipping isn't working properly. There's the torpedo bay. You can actually see into it. There's 4 in there, and as you can see, they are very big torpedoes. I'd say this is around the same size as the Merlin snub ship. In total there will be 6, because there are 4 in this bay and 2 in the rear bay, but with the modular system you can have a front and rear cargo bay. I believe it's the front that you can have a 12-man dropship module in, so you can have 12 people in there with space for weapons, grenades, armor charging, so it's perfect, exactly as a dropship. And you can also have living space modules for front and rear as well, so you can pretty much fit it out for what you how you want to play it. And this is the front, this is the cockpit. I think that's the way into the front turret. But let's jump in the cockpit. Yeah, now you can see there's the one turret at the top front and the two at the rear, and the docking entry plate there. But a really nice looking ship. I think this is a credit to whoever designed it. And this week only, you do get LTI on the modular Retaliator and all the modules that come within it, except for the torpedo modules. Those have 2 years insurance on them, but the cargo, the living space, and the dropship are all LTI as well. So if you have some money and you want a big bomber, this week is the week to go for it. There is also an upper deck, but if I go up there, due to the clipping issues at the moment, I will just clip straight through to the floor. But I will do that as it's a quick way out. Whee! Okay, and next across here, this is a Ghost Hornet, which is very similar externally to the Super Hornet, except it doesn't have the turret on the top. But this, going by the name Ghost Hornet, it's the stealth variant. So it has very low EM signatures. It's, you know, designed to sneak around, sneak past enemy lines, sneak past enemy ships, and just not get detected. It's still pretty well armed. It lacks the top turret, as I say, so those 2 guns are missing. But you can put the canard from the Super Hornet, or buy the canard separately and put it on the front here. I've gone for one fixed Mantis again, and then a Mantis on each wing. This loadout is particularly effective at the moment. Again, it's a very nice ship. Unlike the Super Hornet, it's 1 person only. I just like the idea of having an infiltration style ship. Let's just jump in that quick. I mean, it's not hugely dissimilar to the other Hornet, but for the sake of completeness, if I can. There we go. That's your view around inside your cockpit. And that's the external view. Again, wings folded back in landed position. It doesn't look like this in flight. It's the wings come out at much more of an angle. And there's the rear view, so you can see the engine. Okay, let's hop out of that one. The next ship is the Merlin Snub Fighter, which actually comes with the Constellations and I believe several other larger ships. It's just a small snub fighter. It has no long distance travel capabilities. It literally is there to be dropped out of the back of a bigger ship and take care of help in defeating any enemies that may be fighting that bigger ship. So it's sort of restricted to local area only, but still a very nice ship. I really like the way it looks. I think so far this is the only ship where your HUD is actually on the screen in front of you and not overlaid on your helmet. Again, the wings there fold down when it's in actual spaceflight. Let's just go to an outside view and have a look around. Again, gun on each wing. To be honest, I don't know how this... I think there's another gun on the front of this, but to be honest, I haven't actually flown it yet, so all I can do on this one is really show you what it looks like. I'm sure I saw somewhere there was a Gatling gun you could fit to the front though, but don't quote me on that. But yeah, again, a very nice, clean looking, designed small snub fighter. And the last ship I have in here is the Glaive, which is a medium-sized Vandal fighter ship. They've only been available this week, and the only way you can get one is to defeat all 18 waves of Vandal Co-op Swarm, either on your own or with a group, whichever way around you find easiest. And then you can buy one. There's a limited run of 1,000, or you can then, once you've achieved that and beaten all 18 waves, you can then hire them for wreck as well. They're not dissimilar to the Vandal Scythe, except they have a symmetrical configuration where instead of just the one giant wing they have two. These again fold down in flight, so these will be instead of the vertical bits you can see poking up with the red and yellow on, these actually drop down so they're horizontal. Big guns you can see there. It also has a couple on the front here. And the missile launchers there on the underside of the wing. The Scythe is known as a Scythe because of the knife-like wing it has and the damage it can do with that. This is identical, except it has two of said wings, as I did previously mention. Right, let's jump in this cockpit. As it's an alien ship, it's not the most conventional way to get in. But it does the job. And there we are. It's one of the biggest fighters I've seen in the game so far. I haven't actually seen the how big the Vanguard would look compared to this, but yeah, with those wings folded down, it's a big ship as far as fighters go. Just have a look around it again. I mean, I really like the way the Star Citizen have done this. The Vandal ships have their own distinctive look. The other alien ships have their own distinctive look. I'm actually waiting for I've got a K2L as well, which is a different designed alien ship. It doesn't actually have main thrusters, it just has more high-powered maneuvering thrusters, and therefore it should be extremely agile, but this ship isn't actually hangar ready yet, hence I can't actually show it to you. When it is, I shall do, of course. I'll probably do a whole video just dedicated to that ship. Let's hop out of this one. And back to the Retaliator in the middle. Well, thank you very much for watching. If there's anything you want to request or any comments you guys want to leave, please do. Take care now.